fans. It is Before the Odds, and we are back. You got your boy Pick 5 Johnny. You got Big Willis in the house.
Yes, sir.
And we are talking, of course, my favorite, the 3-year-old Phillies, because I always get those right.
Kentucky Oaks, baby.
We're talking Kentucky Oaks contenders. We're going to take it back a little bit. We're going to go through the last 10 years of Kentucky Oaks winners and what pre-Oaks races they ran in, whether it was the Ashland, the Fairground Oaks, the Gazelle, the Rachel Alexandra, the Fantasy, which we have this weekend.
The Gulfstream Park Oaks.
The Gulfstream Park Oaks, which, funny enough, there hasn't been one from that, actually, in the last 10 years, which is crazy. We do have one. I think there was one that ran in the Devona Dale and got first, then got third in the Ashland, and then won the Kentucky Oaks.
Okay.
So it's pretty interesting. It definitely plays into what I've always talked about. 3-year-old Phillies are inconsistent.
Yeah, man.
And that is definitely what I see in the last 10 years. Now, last year I feel like there was a little more, actually the last 2 or 3 years, there was a little more consistency. But definitely this year, I feel like we could get a horse that hasn't won a prep or maybe got 3rd or 4th last time out and win the Kentucky Oaks.
I can see that happening. It's wide open, man. It really is.
100%.
I got my top 5 out there. I know you got your top 5 out there.
Yeah,
and
man.
What's even better is we got some viewers and some listeners
Yes.
who actually interacted with us today on our Instagram, and they gave us our top 5. We told them we're going to talk about them. So we are, and we actually got a caller calling in today.
First call in.
That's going to talk about some of his Oaks picks and why he picked them, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's get into it. First, we'll go through last year's winner, and we'll go all the way to 13.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. So last year you had Secret Oath, which was Big Willis's top play in this Oaks race.
Yes.
And she actually won the Fantasy that Wet Paint is in this weekend.
Dwayne Lucas, baby.
So I think it's fair to say if Wet Paint wins this weekend, that's going to be my favorite pick.
She's definitely going to be.
For sure.
She still probably won't be my top pick unless she wins in like some kind of crazy fashion where she's ultra impressive, but she's definitely up there. She's already in my top 5 list.
Yeah,
I could see her making number 1 for me. You know, the Fantasy is a good race to come out of, man. It's coming out of Oaklawn Park going into the Derby and Oaks.
Yes.
It's a good prep race.
100%. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh,
no, go ahead.
Okay, and then 2021 we had Malathot.
Wow.
Who won the Breeders' Distaff last year?
Straight beast. Todd Pletcher
won the Ashland at Keeneland. Mm-hmm. Then we had She Dares, one of your favorites, in the Fantasy in 2020.
Yes. She Dares
the Devil, I should say.
Yeah, she Dares the Devil. It's funny that you say this because I hit the last 2 out of 3 so far, and I liked Malathot early on.
Yeah,
I just jumped over to I forget what horse I ended up taking over her, but it eats me alive.
That was Clairiere.
Clairiere jumped.
That was a good year. You had Clairiere, you had Search Results, and you had Malathot.
I liked them all, and they all went on to have a good 3-year-old season and 4-year-old season.
Yeah, the last 2 years, right? You had so you had 2021. You had Malathot, Clairiere, and Search Results have all come back, run really well. Then last year you had Secret Oath.
I like
we had Kathleen O, and we had Nest. So it's those 2 years blow this year out of the water.
And when we're when you say these horses, we're not talking like weeks before.
No,
we were preaching these horses
correct
early on into from the end of their 2-year-old to maybe the beginning of their 3-year-old season.
Yep, and really Nest might have beaten Secret Oath if it was a longer race, but.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, probably so, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, now we go to 2019. This is one of my favorite years, honestly, and we did hit this double, which paid really well. And this is one where I could see something like this happening this year. You had Serengeti Empress.
Yes.
Gate to wire.
Beast
The horse won the Rachel Alexandria and then got 7th in the Fairground Oaks, which was just ran this last weekend, won by...
Oh my God! Southland. Yeah. Brad Cox.
No, Southland. We had that's freaking Norm Cassie.
And I'm an idiot.
And I'm over here, Mark Cassie. I know Norm Cassie, Southland. The Rachel Alexandra Serengeti Empress won, and then Serengeti got 7th in the Fairground Oaks, and then won the freaking Kentucky Oaks. Gate to wire, which is wild. Serengeti was a beast.
She set crazy fractions in that Kentucky Oaks too. And I was thinking Brad.
and then we had Mana Moy Girl.
Awesome.
2018.
One of my favorite horses of all time.
Beast.
Yeah, one of my favorite fillies. She went on to have a great career as a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. Recently just retired. She was awesome to watch, man. And her battles with Midnight Bisou were insane. And you were a Midnight Bisou guy, and I'm a Mana Moy guy. And we used to just get on each other back and forth when they would race each other. And it was such good races every time. And great horse races.
So, yeah, Mana Moy Girl won the Ashland, just like Ness did last year and Malathot did the year prior. So this is when you have more knowledge than me, because Mana Moy Girl was like my beginning. And then Serengeti, I was all in. She Dares, I was all in. Malathot, I was all in.
Yeah.
Secret Oath, I was all in. Now we have Abel Tasman.
Wow.
That's
a
Santa Anita
West Coast
Oaks.
horse.
Got second, actually. Didn't even win it.
Yeah.
And ended up winning the Kentucky Oaks.
To me, that horse was still overrated. Even when she went into the Oaks, I didn't have her. Very rarely do I take a West Coast horse. Yeah, she did good. She didn't pan out like the rest of those horses, you know. The end of her career was pretty much around then. I think she might have won 2 more races after that.
Yeah. Then we had, I like the names of these, though. Then we had Catherine Sophia.
Wow. Catherine Sophia was another very overrated horse. If you ever listen to the call-in show or HRRN, Catherine Sophia, Big A, absolutely hated this horse. Yeah. And I understand why, man. She's so overrated. They used to compare her to, I forget who she used to go up against, and maybe it was Songbird or Bird Song. I forget the name of the horse. It was another filly out there that would just destroy her if she was healthy, and she didn't race in the Oaks. So everybody was Catherine Sophia this, but when they saw each other, you knew who was the better horse.
Yeah, so she actually got first in the Devona Dale, which was, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then she got third in the Ashland, which is at Keeneland, and then ended up winning the Kentucky Oaks. Then, I like this one here. Then we had Lovely Maria.
Oh, my God.
First in the Ashland.
Yeah, all these horses that you're talking about right now don't even come close to the last 4 winners.
I wonder, like, why that is. Because I feel like this next one, I think, might. This next one. Then the next one we had.
What year are you going into?
This is 2014.
Okay.
Or 15, Untappable.
Yeah, Untappable was awesome.
Nasty.
Untappable was Rosie Napovric rode her. She retired after this horse. She ended up getting married and have a baby and retiring. And Untappable, there's races named after that horse now.
That's cool.
An amazing horse, ran over at the fairgrounds and would win by open lengths every time. That horse was amazing.
See, that's cool. Yeah, I looked a little bit back at Untappable. I didn't get to watch any of the replays. I wanted to, but that horse looked pretty impressive. Was a Fairground Oaks and Rachel Alexandria winner. Then we have Princess of Silmar.
Princess of Silmar. She was a long shot. I believe she was maybe like 15 or 20 to 1 when she won the Oaks.
Wow.
Shout out to Avery on Instagram. I'll never forget a younger girl, man, that into horse racing. She's now a photographer at all these horse tracks. Avery Elizabeth is her name. If you follow her on IG, she takes amazing pictures. She had Princess of Silmar, man. She did at a long price, and she was preaching that horse for a long time.
That's pretty crazy.
That horse ended up winning a couple more grade 1s after that.
Now that's in the Gazelle. That was the only one out of the Gazelle in the last 10 years. I'm excited about the Gazelle because that's my girl Sheeta Booty running in that. And I like that horse.
That's a great name for a horse. Sheeta Booty.
It's probably Sheeta Beauty, but I'm gonna go with Sheeta Booty.
It's Sheeta Booty,
man. For sure. So that was the last 10 years we just went through. So if we break it down, you've got 1 from the Gazelle, 2 from the Fantasy, which is being run this weekend. We actually have none from the Gulfstream Park Oaks, which is interesting.
That says a lot.
You know, and that's being run this weekend too.
If you're a history guy, guy, 100. Man, you're not using any of the horses out of there.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at this, I'm definitely a Fantasy and Ashland guy.
Okay.
And then Ashland had 4. We had we had Malathot. We had Mana Moy Girl. We had Lovely Maria. And there was one more. Oh, yeah. And then, maybe it was only 3. I was thinking about, you know what? My fault. In my notes, I got a question mark because it could be 4 going into this year.
Oh, okay.
Then we had 2 from the fairgrounds. And I also put that we have Pretty Mischievous and Southland going into this one. And then we had 1 from Santa Anita, question mark, because we don't know what horse is going to come from that race this year. But we also have ones from Turfway Park
Yes.
coming in that
Yep.
some of our Instagram followers who wrote down for us today have from that race.
Botanical.
Yeah, Botanical's a big one.
Brad Cox.
Botanical's a big one. Unfortunately, Hoosier Philly will not be in mine ever again. And I don't know if she'll make anything for me because she's let me down too many times. 2 being the exact.
Surprisingly, I believe somebody put down Hoosier Philly.
Yes.
They got to be a fan.
That would have been Tammy Lopez. Shout out to Tammy.
Okay.
Tammy and the Lopez family. We appreciate the love with Hoosier because I loved Hoosier, but she's had too many losses for
Hoosier
me.
loser.
She's drowned all my money into the toilet.
So let's just get on it, man. Let's just start talking about these picks. We'll get on to ours first, and then start talking about
all
some
right,
of
so
our
we're
viewers.
talking about us. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, yeah, for me is Wet Paint. A lot of you have seen me. I love this horse. Brad Cox train.
Yep.
I definitely think if this horse wins on the dry surface this weekend, that's going to be my number 1 pick going into the Oaks. I see the history. There is history of horses getting second, third in their prep races, but there's something about this horse and that long drive, and I think this horse can handle that same long drive in the stretch at Churchill. So if this horse runs well on this fast track at Oaklawn, which usually plays more to the front runners, especially if it's fast, that's pretty impressive to me, and she'll definitely be my top play.
Yeah, she's coming off 2 wins. It would make it 3 in a row. Times don't do much for her. But
slop.
Yeah, slop. So like you said, if she can win on some fast and do it the right way, I could see her going into the race, but as maybe the Derby favorite, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so who's your second?
My second is Southlawn, and honestly, I agree. I know, but I was really impressed with that win. Now, the reason why Southlawn won't get the nod from me is because of the field. There was only 5 horses.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the small fields and horses coming out of those races. I want a horse with 10, 11, 12 races because that's going to give them a more realistic view of what the Oaks is going to be like, especially
absolutely.
the Oaks. The Oaks is never as big as the Derby. The Derby is a crapshoot.
14 horses.
The Oaks. The Oaks is like 14. Sometimes could be less.
Yeah.
Honestly. So I'm going to go with that horse as my number 2. We'll see going forward. If I'm right now, Southlawn is my number 2. But if I get impressed by other horses, Southlawn will continue to drop back.
Well, going into that Fairground Oaks, that was supposedly the best prep race so far. Mm-hmm. Like you had Hoosier Philly in there. She was highly toted.
She was supposed to
be. You had Pretty
yeah.
Mischievous in there. Brad Cox, highly toted. The Alice look ran some horses down, or put a lot of horses to test. Chop, Pretty Mischievous. Those were, well looked horses.
Yeah.
And, Southlawn went in there and beat them, I'm still not a fan. Pretty Mischievous did not need to win that race.
Right.
Southlawn did. I'm not using it as an excuse. Going forward, I think Pretty Mischievous is the better horse, but I get why you got Southlawn in there.
Yeah, for sure.
So who you got as your third?
3, I'm going Sheeta Booty.
Sheeta Booty.
Obviously, big name. You gotta be a big racehorse. So if she's got that name, she's already attracted me. And then now she had a very impressive win last time, beating the odds-on favorite. And now we just got to see what she does at a little bit longer distance in the Gazelle.
Yeah, this will make 4 in a row.
If she wins this, she's number 2. So that's what I'm looking at because it's going to be a bigger field. I think it's going to be a more competitive field. Because honestly, look, I like Pretty Mischievous. I like the Ali's look. And, I liked Hoosier Philly up until that race, but they didn't, the Ali's look kind of just ran her own race like off the page. Like went 8 wide for no reason.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's really just Pretty Mischievous and Southlawn. And so that to me just isn't as impressive. But if Sheeta Booty can go out there and beat 10 to 12 horses, that horse is going to jump Southlawn for me.
Yeah, I get it. Sheeta Booty, at a practical joke, I don't see the distance for this horse. I think the longer it gets, the harder it gets for this horse. I could see her winning this weekend. I don't see her as a true contender for the Kentucky Oaks.
Yeah.
But that's why we talk about horses. That's why we bet on them. If she wins this, it'll be 4 in a row.
Yeah. Then number 4 is going to be Guns and Graces for me.
I love that horse.
But it's a question mark. Typical Chad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this horse is going to come back in the Ashland or not because I think That's what they would aim for, I would assume. But even though that horse's run wouldn't suit well in that short stretch at Keeneland.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that horse is even going to come back in this to make it to the Oaks. So that's why it's a question mark.
Chad's the type of trainer to not really care about that either. He skipped the Derby to run in the Preakness.
Right.
Cloud Computing ended up winning. I believe Cloud Computing won the Ashland.
Right.
Or not the Ashland, the Bluegrass. And then skipped the Kentucky Derby, man, and then went to the Preakness.
Okay, Cloud Computing. Yep.
That's how Chad works.
Yeah.
No, I like Guns and Graces. A lot of people doubted her going into the Devona Dale, coming out of that Tampa maiden special weight. We were at Tampa that day. I was so high on that horse. I loved her. She came back. I had her. I didn't have Darth Vader, but I had Guns and Graces, and she ran better than any other filly in that race and was better odds. So I like Guns and Graces a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to take the Devona Dale and just throw that thing out.
I feel you.
I did like the run she made, and that's why she's number 4 for me. But if she doesn't run in the next couple of weeks, I got to throw her out because obviously she's not going for the Oaks.
Obviously,
she's going for something else. And so I might look for some news on that. And then my 5th is going to be Pretty Mischievous. I'm not going to throw out that last race. I'm just going to chalk it up and say she just got beat.
Yeah.
She just got beat. And what I'm noticing about these fillies this year specifically is a lot of them are very vulnerable. So any of them can be beat at any time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm interested to see what my number 1 pick, Wet Paint, does this weekend. That might be the horse that, to me, stands out, like the Secret Oaths of last year. 2 years ago, the Malathots, or the She Dares, or the Monomoy Girls.
Yeah.
Right? So, and what's interesting is She Dares and Monomoy Girl were both Brad Cox.
He's good with the Fillies, man. He always has been. He's made a career of it.
And then you had Malathot, obviously Todd, and then you had Secret Oath, the legend D. Wayne. Which Secret Oath this year, honestly, might be one of the top older fillies.
Yeah.
For sure.
I see it, man.
So that's my 5. What do you got?
So I start with Pretty Mischievous. Where you end is where I start. Brad Cox, main reason. He knows how to get him ready. Great trainer for this type of race. For all the reasons you said, and more. I don't think Pretty Mischievous needed to win that last race. Okay. She's in the Oaks already. Not saying they didn't want to win. I don't think they were ready for what Southland brought. She was fully cranked. Pretty Mischievous wasn't. I'm riding my boy Brad Cox.
Yeah, I mean, well, you did tell me that news that they cleared the throat with some surgery.
Oh yeah, with Southland.
Yeah,
she had surgery after her I believe her second race, and what a difference. She went out and won her next race and then won this prep race going in.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
My second is Wet Paint. So I got two of the heavy hitters on the front. And if Wet Paint wins this weekend, she'll be the favorite going into the Kentucky Oaks. But what's cool is I'll still like Pretty Mischievous better.
Yeah.
But I'll be happy if Wet Paint takes it home.
Oh,
my
for
third
sure.
is maybe a shocker, another Brad Cox.
Yeah.
This is Botanical, and I really like this horse. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, the synthetic this, turf horse. You're right. But, hey, man, she's here for a reason. She's well-bred. I think she gets the lead. And she's going to be dangerous on the front end. I don't think Brad's going to pressure her with anything else. I don't think there's a ton of speed in the race. I can see Botanical getting on the lead and maybe getting run down, use her underneath. But if she won that race, I wouldn't be shocked, man. Yeah. It's a really good horse, and it's also Brad Cox. You're getting Chris Landeros, which is pretty cool. He should win a Kentucky Oaks race. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
To see a different name in one of these big races.
I'm always skeptical on a horse that. So it's crazy because you did have the Derby winner from last year, Rich Strike, come from synthetic. The only difference is the reason why I'm looking at that synthetic race, but now more for the boy side, not because of last year, but that kind of gave me a different view. Is Rich Strike had success at Churchill on the dirt prior?
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's nothing for Botanical, so that's why for me as a capper, when I see a horse that breaks her maiden on the turf and then. Obviously, she won very impressively on the synthetic. I still look away. Whereas the two Phils who won that same day, won the boys race,
has some good
dirt form. Not great times, but good dirt form at Churchill specifically. So that
both of these horses, after this Derby and Oaks run is over, they're both going to the grass.
Really,
I truly believe that, man. I truly believe that they're going to go to the grass. But that's why you're going to get the odds on Oaks Day with Botanical that you are.
Yeah, I'd say 10, 12 to 1.
Yeah, 10 or 12 to 1.
For sure.
My fourth horse, you also have in your fourth slot. That's Guns and Graces, Chad Brown. I told you why I like that horse.
Would be higher for us if we knew what she was gonna do.
You don't know what she's gonna do.
We don't know what she's gonna do.
I believe we see her over at the Ashland.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
All right, and my last one is gonna get you, Todd Fincher, Flying Connection.
Yeah,
and it's I'm kind of sticking my foot in my mouth here with Botanical being the speed. Well, so is Flying Connection.
Yeah, exactly.
So Flying Connection is gonna be on the front end. Granted, this is dirt horse. Man, did that horse look impressive at Sunland?
Yeah,
like,
good.
Dude, I don't think a horse has ever come out of Sunland to win the Oaks ever. I know we got one Derby winner in Mind That Bird.
Yes.
Other than that, and I think he got third over at the Sunland Derby.
Yeah.
He was a 50-1 shot to win the Kentucky Derby, coming from dead last. Flying Connection looks good, man. I like Todd Fincher. He's coming up as a trainer. You're seeing him a lot more. He was strictly Sunland. Now you're catching him over at Santa Anita. Now he's in a big race like this. This guy deserves it, and part of it is my heart wanting that guy to get there. I would love for him to win this race with Flying Connection.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be good for the game, man.
Yeah, the key with those front runners in those races, you never know. It's like I talked about Kings of Barnes, is maybe Flying Connection has good tactical speed, but you saw her in that race go gate to wire.
Yeah.
So hopefully if the horse can rate a little bit, if you can see some of that in her form, I don't know, but that would be a plus, because then maybe she could sit, 3 or 4 off.
Yeah.
But she obviously, like, I saw that same race. I saw the Sunland Oaks, and definitely I think she can have some tactical speed. She doesn't have to go to the lead. But yes, unfortunately, if she does go leave with Botanical, they will run each other out of the race.
That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. And that's why you're going to get the odds on those horses. But, it's horse racing, man. It's something I want to see. But realistically, I think they do hurt each other. And I think a horse like Pretty Mischievous will capitalize, or Wet Paint will capitalize.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. To me, this year, it's wide open. We can get a Serengeti Empress who got 7th in her previous race and then wins the Oaks. We can now, is it going to be that fashion? I don't think so, because there's no Serengeti Empresses out there right now. That horse was a beast on the front end.
Yeah.
And had some beast runs.
She used to run crazy splits and hang on. We would be shocked every time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's get into some of our viewer picks, man. Stop boring these people. I know they want to hear about themselves.
Yeah.
So we posted on Instagram our top 5 picks. We said, go ahead and leave your picks out there for us, and we would talk about it on the show. Well, here we are with the show.
Let's go.
The first one to put out there was Eddie0202.
Edo.
Who did he take?
Eddie had Pretty Mischievous, number 1. Obviously, Big Will is going to like that. The Alley's look.
Nice.
So he's all over Brad Cox.
2 Brad Cox horses. That guy always likes some Cox.
Actually, top 3. Top 3.
We know Eddie0202.
Wet Paint.
Wet Paint.
So he's got his top 3 are all Brad Cox. And
I know why he likes Darth Vader.
He must be a Star Wars guy.
No, because he was at Gulfstream that day and ended up going to watch. He was there hanging out watching the races.
Okay.
He's not. He likes the horses and stuff, but I'm just glad he put out his opinion with us like
100%.
that. That's why he likes Darth
Wonder
Vader.
Wheel. I don't know how he could.
Probably previous at the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, Breeders' Cup.
Watching those races, probably the 2-year-old season. That's all you can look at. You can't. There ain't no other reason why you like Wonder Wheel.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and I'm not crapping on you, but kind of like how you had Who's Your Filly last week.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's you're banking off the 2-year-old season with that pick. But good picks, man. Thanks for sending them in, Eddie.
Appreciate it.
Who do we got next over here?
Oh, we got Rocky. He wanted his he had a nickname he wanted. Something, I think it was the Midnight Mush.
Let me see.
That's what it was. He might be the Midnight Mush. We got another nickname. We got Pick 5 Johnny, Big Willis.
It's the Midnight Moneymaker.
Midnight Moneymaker. That sounds about
Coach
right.
Rock.
With Rock. The Rack.
All right, so who does he got?
So Rock's got, he seems like he's got a lot of Swamis, but he's got Charlie's Wish.
Okay.
Pure Pauline.
Okay.
Boss Lady Bailey.
Boss Lady Bailey. I heard of that one.
I like that name.
Yeah, that's about all you could like about that horse. That horse got 11th last time out in the Honeybee.
And then he had Cotton Candy Annie, and then he actually has a horse running this weekend in the fantasy. Take Charge, Brianna.
These sound like all Rocky's ex-girlfriend. Are these Rachel picks?
I don't know, man.
All right, so yeah, I mean, we can sit here and talk about these horses. He's got a lot of long shots. Listen, if the midnight moneymaker wins on Oaks Day, he's got a lot of money in the bank, baby, because a lot of those horses aren't even qualified. The biggest name he's got on there is Take Charge Brianna, and I think she's 0 for 10.
Yeah, that's all right. She might
win. No,
1
for 10. She broke her maiden.
She might take it this weekend.
She could. It's D. Wayne Lucas, man. A secret oath.
Let's go.
All right, who do we got next over here?
Next one, we got TJ Lopez, 06.
Right. So who do we got? Wonder Wheel,
Wonder Wheel.
Okay, so this strictly 2-year-old season stuff.
Might be.
Wonder Wheel, Who's Your Filly, Pretty Mischievous, Darth Vader,
and Dreaming of
Snow. Yeah, I mean those are good picks. I mean, really, listen, if Wonder Wheel bounced back and won the Oaks, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't. That horse could bounce back.
I would. You lose at Tampa, bro. I don't see any Tampa horses
first off the
races. Like
the Breeders' Cup champion.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, and I don't like that. I don't like the Breeders' Cup run of the Fillies. Honestly,
I get it.
I mean, but I don't mind the pick. Like that's Wonder Wheel, but you lose at Tampa, you lose my respect. Straight.
I get it. She got 2 Tampa horses: Dreaming of Snow, and Wonder
who
Wheel.
Actually beat Wonder Wheel that day by like a neck.
So she got 2 long shots on
Dreaming of Snow is interesting because we don't know what they're doing with that horse.
Yeah.
Won that race, went back on the turf, and then went back into a sprint in the stakes this past weekend, the Florida bred stakes at Tampa, and lost.
They're all over. They're all over with.
To the Munnings.
Money's Gold.
Yeah, right.
That horse is bad to the bone, dude.
Yeah,
you're right. Money's Gold. Look out for that horse. Everybody's saying it. It pisses me off. I was one of the first people on IG to talk about that horse, and then after that horse wins at this last race down at Gulfstream, Irad and everybody is posting about that horse, and it's like, whatever. Yeah. So whatever. 1-9 on that horse next time out.
Yeah.
Who's our next?
Easy.
Who's our next?
Our next one, we got Mrs. Sarcassa 187.
Oh, Sarcassa 187. Go check out her page. I put it in our story, man. She's a chef. She makes good desserts. So
let's go.
You can order or get ideas from her. She's also a photographer, very talented. Let's see if she's talented with her picks here.
Let's go. Darth Vader, number 1.
Yeah, that's only because she's a Star Wars fan. I know it.
There we go. A Colt.
Hold on, another one. This must be a Rocky pick.
I didn't know this horse. I do like her next 2, but I don't know this one. And then we've got Guns and Graces and Sheeta Booty.
Sheeta Booty.
I like those 2 for sure because they're in our both. Well, they're in one of them's in mine. 2 of them are in mine. One of them's in yours.
That's a Swami play for her for sure. I think her husband calls her that.
Yeah, there you go.
And then AG Bullet. See, that's an interesting horse. So when I looked at the picks, same thing as like Rocks. I was looking for AG Bullet, right? And then I had to go way down the list. She's ranked 42nd. She raced in a couple races that we watched. She just didn't stand out. But the horse is well bred and can make some noise. I like the picks. You never know, man. Darth Vader's on there. Darth Vader 45-1 won the Devon Dales running this weekend.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
And then we got Moose 187.
Moose.
All right. So a little more logical here with Pretty Mischievous, Wet Paint, Southline, Darth Vader. A lot of Darth Vader's in there, man.
Yeah. I don't want anything to do with Darth Vader until she loses this weekend, and then maybe she's in that race and I add her in my trifecta. That's about it. Maybe.
If she loses this race, I don't even think they go to the Oaks.
Really?
Yeah. They're one-turn horse.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
It depends how she loses.
Right.
Okay, and then his last pick I like a lot.
Here we go.
Botanical.
Here we go.
Let's go. Don't bring the odds down, though. I don't want too many people liking that horse, but I'd like to
Brad
hear
Cox, so
other people are supporting. You're still going to get 10-1.
I'm going to tell you what everybody needs this weekend is for Wet Paint to win, and then you'll get good odds on every horse.
Yeah.
Period. That's it. So if you're rooting for horses to have good odds, you're hoping Wet Paint wins the fantasy this weekend. Period. Yeah. If Wet Paint loses, everybody's going to have good odds.
Yeah.
And then it's it's more, but that way if Wet Paint wins and you're not a fan of Wet Paint, going into that Oaks, you're going to get really good odds.
Yeah. I like it. Sure. I like it. I hope she wins, and I'm going to be using Pretty Mischievous, and I think I get like 4-1, 5-1 odds on Pretty Mischievous.
If Wet Paint wins, you might. Yeah, I'd for sure 5-1, 6-1. Yep.
All right. So we got a special one here on the last one.
Let's go.
I'm excited. We got a first time on the Before the Odds podcast. He sent in his picks.
Yep.
But yeah, so we got this guy called A. Hyman, 92, on the show with us today, man. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me on the show. I love the show. I love the content. I just want to give you guys props and say congratulations on starting this. It's something new. It's something different. And I look forward to the content in the future.
Yeah, man, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the picks too, man. Explain to us just a little bit how you came up with the list.
All right, so I'm going to start from the back.
Okay, we're going red carpet ready.
Serious. Everyone back in their day had to be a little red carpet ready. So how do you not throw that one in there? That's a name pick right
I like that. I like that.
Wonder Wheel, just like Willis was saying, I went off the past races.
There we go.
Past races on that, but throw those two out. I don't really care. I don't care about.
Okay, yeah, we're throwing them out.
3 is what I care about.
Okay.
3 I have pretty mischievous.
There we go.
She doesn't have the speed. I don't think she gets it done because she doesn't have the speed. So that comes down to my next 2, my speed horses, Southland and Botanical.
Yeah.
And I'm going Botanical all the way for the dub.
Oh, wow. Okay. Coming off the turf and the synthetic. That's ballsy.
What makes you like Botanical?
I like Botanical because, like I've heard it many times in this pod. Brad Cox. And who's the trainer?
Brad Cox.
Here we go. And she's coming off huge wins at Keeneland, Kentucky Downs, and Turfway Park. And I get it, like John said, it's a synthetic track, but she reminds me of the Columbus running back from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to see the hole, and she's going to be out of there, baby. She's
yeah.
She knows. She's going all the way.
Oh, yeah. Botanical does that. She'll definitely win that race, man. I like the top 5. I know, man. Unfortunately, red carpet ready, I like that horse a lot. So I appreciate you having her on the list, because man, she was one of my favorite fillies until she blew it at the Devona Dale.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where she'll show up again. But I like that. And then South Lawn, what'd you like about South Lawn?
It's the same thing. I got to go with the speed. And if you go back and look at the races,
yeah,
Botanical is just a little bit faster. So I'm going speed in this race. I'm going Botanical 1 and South Lawn 2. I think that they're going to create distance, and hopefully they don't get run down and burn each other out. But I think that they can do it. I think I'm going with the speed on this one, and I think it'll be them 2 at the end with Botanical. I watched her last race, and she got tested and just pulled away.
I like that. I like that, bro. All right, so let's.
I want to see that at the end of the race.
All right, now we gotta test your knowledge a little bit. Have a little fun here. So, since we're talking about the Oaks, and you heard me talk about the Oaks winners from prior years, who won the Oaks last year?
I'm going to send this one back to my man, Big Willis.
Secret Oath.
Secret Oath, D. Wayne Lucas, the one, the only, man. We like to have fun on here. All right, now we're going to ask you, who won the Derby last year?
Who won the Derby last year?
Think big. Shocker.
If I get, oh my God.
Remember, it was a shocker.
Give me a couple names here.
All right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Zandon.
No.
Epicenter. Rich Strike.
Epicenter.
Close. Epicenter was the favorite, and he got second.
Epicenter was the favorite, man.
80 to 1. Rich Strike won the race. He ran him down and closed at the end. The longest shot ever.
Yeah, man. No, we appreciate.
Sometimes just throw $5 on the longest shot.
Listen, man, my mom plays like that. My mom won with Country House. We were all at my house sitting there, and my mom ended up putting like $10 on Country House because of the name. And you had who got brought down?
Maximum Security.
Maximum Security got brought down in the DQ, and my mom ended up winning the most, pointing at me, John, and my dad.
And I wasn't even there.
She was laughing at us because we have our past performances and we do all this studying.
Yeah.
And she's like, I picked Country House because we live in a country house. And she ended up winning like $300 on a $10 wager.
Mm-hmm.
See, and sometimes I think that's the way to do it, because you pick these horses that are 10 to 1 odds or better and all that. When they win, they're kind of expected. You throw $5 on a horse like that, you'll never see someone celebrate harder.
Well, sometimes you know a lot, and I had told you earlier today, like sometimes like I think I know too much. Like you pick a horse, you like a horse, but you can know too much. You can look at the PPs too much, study too much, and then overthink it, as opposed to just looking at the buyer speed and picking a horse.
Right.
Right.
Or
You
a
know?
name.
Watch it.
I know I threw you under the table a little bit there, but we just wanted to just have a little fun with our viewers and what?
No, I'm saying I like that, but I'm also wondering, do you think they could have pulled the Bob Baffert on us? Because if you go back to 2022, Botanical wasn't running as fast. And I'm an amateur guy here, but next thing you know, I see 2022, they're in the mid-80s, all that. And next thing you know, 2023, she's hitting 98.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, Brad Cox, Bob Baffert doing Bob Baffert things. That's why he can't run in Kentucky. But Brad Cox is not known for that.
Yeah,
he's a good trainer, good.
But I don't know. Yeah,
but you're right. It's a big jump, and he has been questioned in the past, but he's never been charged with anything. No, if you look, all Bob Baffert's horses now, when they're getting ready into these prep races, are mainly trained by Tim Yakteen or like Steve Asmussen. They transferred his horses. But no, that's just a horse improving.
I will say this: horses do improve from their 2-year-old to the 3-year-old season, no doubt about it. But I do think in our sport there is some shady stuff in the background. I hope it's not more than less. You know what I mean? Like I hope everybody's keeping it clean. Yeah, I really do. But you bringing that up.
I mean, just to hear it from him, who, he doesn't play the horses like us, Right. Adam, he plays the horses, but you're not in it like us. We're deep.
Right. He's going to be.
And for you to know that, it sucks for the horse game. It does, you know, but it is what it is. There's cheaters and everything, man. And hopefully they get caught and they stay out of it and that, that they're all over it.
But secretly, sometimes you just got to roll with the cheaters. If you know Bob.
Yeah.
You got to put the money with it,
Yeah.
It's not good for the game.
It makes you think about those Triple Crown winners, America Pharoah and Justify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I just put in new floors, so I didn't know if this horse was juiced, and I was hoping to get better odds and all that stuff. So all in. I need to go win, play, show. It's all on Botanical.
So we need Botanical for the new floors for Hyman 92, man.
I like it.
Yeah, bro.
Selling eyeglasses on the streets.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate the call in. We appreciate the answers. And bro, first call in before the odds. We appreciate the support 100%, man.
All right, man. I love the show, guys. Keep it up.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, man. So that was our first call in right there. A Hyman 92.
Right there,
I like
bro.
his picks. I like Botanical, man. And he did bring a little knowledge to the game, and that's awesome. Just getting more people involved. And I'm sure he's going to be watching the first Friday. He's going to be watching the first Saturday and betting on his horses. Thank you to Moose 187. Thank you to Miss Sakasa 187. Thank you for TJ Lopez, Eddie 0202. Thank you for the Midnight Moneymaker.
Rocky.
Appreciate all you guys leaving comments in there and interacting with us. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So that's it. That's our show for the Oaks, our preview for the Oaks. It's going to change after this weekend. Look for wet paint on Saturday at the Fantasy. Mm-hmm. Interesting to see if she can make it a sweep over there at Oaklawn and take the same road as Secret Oath last year.
Yep.
And then we got the Gulfstream Park Oaks.
No winners have ever come out of that.
We'll see. I got 4 horses in there for my best bet coming out tomorrow. So I'm excited, bro. Let's do it. That's it. The Fillies. My favorites.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Please subscribe, IG and YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Before the odds, baby.
Appreciate all the love. Always. Always appreciative. That's it.
Peace out.
We out.
Hey, what up, girl? How you doing? I don't want to come on too strong or nothing like that, but I've been thinking about you. And I've been wondering where you lay up. Where you at? So